Hello, this is one of the continuation of effects of karma and the future life or present life. And I just wanted to give some summary and answer some questions. Sometimes after listening to the talk on karma and its effect, people wonder, many questions arise in the mind. So one of the questions that arises is that we often see people who are doing bad things but do not seem to suffer or get consequences from it. Certainly this is true in the present life, that we do see a lot of criminals, rapists, alcoholics who have had car accidents, or even politicians who have done bad things and everybody knows about it, but they get scot-free, either because of the corruption or because of lack of evidence or anything like that. So how is that? How is that they are enjoying, quote unquote, the mortal life without any consequences? And the answer to that is very simple. I think sometimes we have to see that how the actions of past karmas act into the future life. Not all the karmas that are done come to fruition in this life. So if someone has done good karmas in past lives and they're coming to fruition in this life, he will have a good life. He might be rich, he might have good family, he might have a good education. But if he continues to deviate from the good acts, then those things will accumulate as well. Sometimes I give an example of the cereal dispenser that one sees in the hotels when we go for the breakfast. And if you remember that it is filled from the top and the bottom is the one that you get. So it is not always that all the karmas that you have done few years ago would come to fruition, few lives ago would come to fruition in this life, but it is a mixture of some karmas which have a high intensity, some karmas which have a low intensity will come to the fruition in this life. But just for the practical understanding of this, let's say that you have done a lot of good karmas in previous lives, and those are the one at the bottom of the pot where the cereal dispenser, you get the cereals out. And so the effects of those karmas is going to come to the fruition in this life. Now, if we start filling the top with the bad karmas, then as the good karmas cereals are exhausted, the bad one will start popping up. So it may take a time, it may be one life, maybe two lives, maybe 10 lives, before this particular person who is doing bad actions exhausts the good karma effect from previous lives, and now they're going to have bad karmas appearing and they will pay for it. So one has to understand that the effect of karma does occur, whether we like it, we don't like it, we accept it, or we don't want to accept it. So the way in which I would explain the good life for bad people in this life is that probably in previous lives, not necessarily the last one, but maybe lives before that, they have acted in good faith or good actions, and that has led to the good life in this existing life. And as they exhaust these good effects of good karmas and start accumulating bad karmas, that will come to the fruition. And then, of course, they will have to pay, or they will be suffering the effects of the bad karmas. The second question is asked is that, what about God? Does he not have any role? I mean, our religion teaches that God is merciful, is omnipotent, omnipresent, he can forgive, he can help, he responds to our prayers. And to some extent this is true. However, he has created the laws. Let me give you an example of this so you will understand it. The laws follow it. Just because I believe in God, I jump from the third floor of a balcony, I'm going to have broken legs because the gravity is a law created, and that's going to have an effect, and I'm going to have it. If I jump from 10th floor, I'll probably die. So just because I believe in God or I pray does not mean the laws can be changed easily. The second thing is that God has created the laws and given us the free will. I compare this to a couple of common things that you know. For example, there is a battery in your computer. The battery does not dictate which website I go to, what do I write on a computer, or what I create out of computer. Something similar could be said about the gas in your car. The gas is the cause that your car's engine runs. However, you are the driver. Where do you drive? Whether you drive under influence, whether you drive more than accepted speed and kill someone, that is not the fault of the gas that you have put it in the car, which is the reason the car is running. Ultimately, you as the driver is the responsible party for the car getting in an accident or driving safely. So the gas is like God. Without the gas, the car cannot run. The battery in the computer is like God. Without the battery, there is no power, computer would not run. But what do you do with that power, whether it is in the car engine or in the computer, is entirely up to you. It is completely in your hands at a free will. Now again, our actions are directed by our previous karmas and impression. So some of us will do good and some of us will do bad karmas, simply because those are the effects that created the desires, and desires are which we act upon. But ultimately it is our choice, not necessarily the God. A similar example can be considered about the sun. If there was no sun, we would probably not have any life on this earth. So in the broad day sunlight, the plants have flowers and fruits. The sun creates enough temperature for us to live on this planet. But there are good people who under the sun are acting badly, are acting nice, and there are bad people. So the sun provides the life to the plants and animals. However, it is not responsible for actions. So there may be a poisonous plant which grows under the sun, and there may be a plant which gives you nice fruits, nice vegetables. And there are good people who take the energy from the sun and act in good faith, and there are bad people who act in a bad faith. So ultimately, these things are there. The sun is like a God. He is giving us the energy, the initiation for us to be alive. If it was not God, we wouldn't be alive. The reflection of the Lord is in us, which is the reason I am talking to you. The battery or the electric outlet provides the energy to the computer. The gas in the car provides the energy to the engine so it can run. But it is not responsible for the actions of it. Please remember that there are 3 types of accumulation of karma. I'm going to show you a chart before end of this particular lecture. I hope you can read it. This is the action of karma. I have already stated you in the past that there are karmas that are accumulated, and then there are karmas that we come with that are going to come to fruition in this life, and then there are karmas which we continue to accumulate because of more actions. And the sum and total of actions of the karma that we do this life and some that come to the fruition in this life will be determining our present life. I'm sure this is explanation for some of the questions that I've been asked and that arise after these lectures. I hope you like and understand the law of karma, and you will like it and subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day.